How would you feel about at least one presidential primary debate being replaced with a history civics themed contest of Jeopardy between the candidates? This sort of reminds me of when we, Finland, were having a presidential election where the two final candidates appeared on a comedy quiz show about current events, our version of the I Got News for You. The candidate who was much more funny in the show won the election, and the other candidates people would complain that voters seemed to have been sold on basically impromptu humor and a good performance in TV, as if that sort of thing didn't already swing elections whether they're on a comedy show or not. The suggestion in this thread is at least about something more important than just the week's news, so why not do it? Personally, I would prefer a debate in which the candidates are given a subject, 3-5 minutes to go over their plan, and use facts, data, charts, and other tools to prove their point. I am sick of this unsubstantiated bullshit that is presented and not backed up. This has been my view for over 20 years. I'm 40. Maybe I am crazy. I am just sick of this 30-60 seconds of arguing with no support. To answer your question, I would watch the shit out of your proposal as well. People who are saying it wouldn't have much value may have a point, but it wouldn't be any more useless than the bullshit they do now. Edit, if you can find it, look up the very first TV debate between Richard Nixon and JFK. They discussed substantive positions and laid out clear policy differences in a respectful, somber manner. Now it's all just angling for one-liner sound bites that they hope will get airplay in the next news cycle. Edit 2. I feel a deep sense of satisfaction that my top comment of all time expresses my frustration at the inanity of the current political process in the US. No, just because I can't stand the thought of. Bernie thinks the capital of Alaska is Anchorage. Trump doesn't know the year Montana was founded. Warren doesn't even know where Guam is. What is Aleppo? I choose business ethics. Our political system is already a joke, so have Will Ferrell host as Alex Trebek and I'm in. Sounds really biased toward people who know things. I like it. Probably more useful in the general though. How would you feel if we make a subreddit for this kind of questions? I would like candidates to pass a basic civics test and affirm some basic facts. People who cannot accept well-established facts should not be qualified. How about the debate where the participants are legitimately challenged on their positions and inadequacies on a variety of topics, with follow-up questions from the moderator that call out bullshit, and most importantly, equal time? Mr. Biden, do you have any regrets about the numerous crime bills you sponsored in the Senate that have shown a dramatically negative effect on our nation's poorest and most marginalized groups? How can you assure voters you won't champion similar efforts as president? Mr. Buttigieg, you have zero experience in foreign policy or international diplomacy. How do you think other countries, allies and adversaries alike, might try to take advantage of that? Instead we get Mr. Sanders, why is capitalism bad? 5-minute stump speech, Mr. Biden, why is that wrong? 5-minute corn pop speech, Mr. Yang, we're going to break. This question format is annoying and should be banned. What are how would you feel questions? That's right. Redditors feeling extremely smart for thinking this is a good idea. That actually sounds phenomenal. Fuck no. Granted, I would like to know the person I am voting for is semi-well educated, but knowing obscure trivia about how the state lines were drawn or deep knowledge about the Civil War doesn't equate to understanding modern-day geopolitics and our economics. Frankly, here's a more radical idea that I'm 100% behind. Abolish the debates. People can already tell just based on the platform and how the public media discourse is carried out who they are going to support, and one thing 2016 proved among many is that the debates clearly don't matter. All the debates do is serve to reinforce the stupid base awkward cult of personality-driven campaigns that we should all be sick of at this point. Abolish them. Anybody who says they need to see the debates to make a decision is either lying or deciding on purely superficial qualities. You son of a bitch, I'm in. I would prefer a full skills challenge with an obstacle course and some light hand-to-hand combat. Stupid idea, the primary isn't here to entertain you, even though it's been a fucking joke so far. I teach citizenship classes to immigrants. When I read the questions from the naturalization test to my friends and family who were raised in the US, most of them can't answer everything. In 8 years of bringing this up at random parties, I've met one American who can name the 5 major non-state territories that the US owns. Most of them only pass question 87, Name an American Indian tribe, because they've heard of Apache helicopters. And until the Hamilton soundtrack hit the charts, nobody could name the authors of the Federalist Papers. Whenever one of them flunks, I suggest, and I'm only half joking, that all Americans should take this test when they turn 18, and if you fail, your birthright citizenship should be transferred to an immigrant who passed. After all, we drill into immigrants that citizenship is a privilege and a responsibility as well as a right. Why should it be different for people who were born here?